Let's turn to quarterly hogs and pigs. Is the June report a big one, Scott? And what did we see here this month?
Well, we've certainly been wondering about what's happening on the hog side of the equation. With the quarterly hogs and pigs report we got out this week, I guess for me, a few things stick out in that report. Number one, I was curious if we were going to talk about a big decline in breeding inventory. The report came in with breeding inventory at 96.8% of a year ago. For me, that was near where we were the previous quarter. So we've been running about 6 million head of breeding inventory, a little more than that, but right near 6 million head. So a lot of sideways as we've gone through this year. The other piece of the puzzle, pigs per litter, which, by the way, that breeding inventory number of 96.8 came in below the bottom end of the pre-report estimate. So that piece of the puzzle might have been positive. Pigs per litter, March through May, came in at 101.8. That was a little bit below where we would have expected, but continued growth in pigs per litter. I take those two things and put them together, and I go, more pigs maybe in front of us, but it's an industry on the supply side that's been going sideways of late. If you look for a second at the individual states here, Iowa down 90,000 head of breeding inventory, Texas down 50,000 head, and Missouri down 40,000 head. Those were the big movers in terms of losses in breeding inventory.
With those three states, is that worth watching?
I think it is. Now, I will say, we did have growth in some states: Colorado, South Dakota, Kansas. For me, in some cases, this is, can I get sows further away from where I'm trying to finish hogs as well? Texas probably doesn't stick out for that reason, but I think when you look at a state like Iowa, perhaps trying to move sows away, just working on less disease pressure, being away from that market inventory.
What movement in the markets could be expected from these numbers, Scott?
Yeah, so I think given that it's a lot of sideways, I keep saying I think prices are a lot sideways. We've certainly had better prices as we've gone through 2024 than we expected, but we look at of late, it's just been a lot of sideways, maybe even a little down. I think as we get later this year, we're going to have more market hogs, perhaps, as we get in the last quarter. Maybe that's going to weigh on prices. So maybe there's an opportunity for a little bit of price risk management on the hog side, just trying to make sure we avoid as much of the potential for lower prices as we look later in 2024.